Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog at illknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can find our group on Ravelry if you search I'll Knit With You, or you can email me at illknitwithyou@gmail.com. How are you guys? How are my owls and my yous? I know, I'm podcasting again, so close to the last podcast. What? This is like a crazy happenstance. And I actually don't have that much to tell you. I just wanted to podcast. So, we have no new fronds this week. So if you guys have not introduced yourself, go to the introduction thread in the podcast group and do that. And then I will give you a shout out on the next podcast. I did award the first Project Water prize. So if you're not aware, Project Water, so the episode before my 1 year anniversary, I put water. I said, if you see this message, it was in the credits at the end. I said, if you see this message, send me the word water in a PM. And anyone who did, before my 1 year anniversary podcast dropped, is getting a free pattern. And I didn't really tell people why, so they didn't know they were getting a free pattern. They're just like, I saw this, so I thought I'd send it to you. I was paying attention. And so I awarded my first one today, and one of the patterns I bought was for the Beekeeper's Quilt for Hexie Puffs. And I've talked to you guys before about the Strut Your Puffs thread. And then she was like, oh, I'm just so excited to start knitting Hexie Puffs. And so I went ahead and posted a link to a ton of really cool charted color charts for Hexie Puffs, which I have done like none of and definitely need to do. So I copied all of those links to the Strut Your Puffs thread as the first post. So actually it's as the header to the whole thread. So if you just go to it, it's the very top on every page. So you can find links to all sorts of free colorwork charts for the Strut Your Puffs stuff, for Hexie Puffs. And what else did I do? Last week I mentioned that I had finished Gilmore Girls and kind of written a very quick text message fanfic of it. And Cece from the Gilmore Girls, Cece from the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, it also has 2 G's. I got a little brain confused. Sent me a fantastic link to several seasons worth of fanfic. Which I'm super excited to read. So if any of you guys are really into Gilmore Girls and would like that link, let me know. My friend Amanda and I started a very unofficial book club. Oh, we are in Blather, by the way. And we have read all of the Divergent series, the 2 Red Rising books, Red Rising and Golden Sun. And she got to pick the next book because I had kind of picked those 2 sets. And she picked the Cinder series. So I finished Cinder, and I am in the middle of Scarlet. I'm about halfway through, and they are really good. So if you guys are reading books like that, let me know. But yeah, and I also just finished the Voyager Outlander book, because I do those through audiobooks. And I kind of need to go back and read them, because I think when I audiobook stuff, sometimes I kind of like tune out for a second, and I'll miss things, and then like something will catch my attention again. And so I think I know the general gist of what's going on, but I've missed a lot of details. So I've already started rereading the first Outlander book, and I was talking about this with my mom, and she goes, you've read the Outlander books? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I read the Outlander books, and we don't always agree on stuff. So I think she thought that was pretty crazy. And what else can I tell you about my week? Not much else. So if you, other knit-alongs were, sorry, that doesn't make any sense. So threads that you should go check out in the group are the Strut Your Puffs thread, the Hey, I'm a Podcaster thread, where you can go post a link to your podcast so anyone in our group can watch it, including me. And then also this Shawl along, where you can knit any shawl. It has to be started by no sooner than December 26th, and it has to be finished by March 31st. And it's as many shawls as you can knit in that time span. And I'm not saying like drop everything you're doing and just knit shawls for this knit along. No, it's just like if you're knitting a shawl, you know, and you finish it, submit it. It's no pressure. The prize will most likely be a pattern that I buy off your wish list. So if you don't have a wish list, you should check out the podcast where I tell you how to make a wish list. It's super stinking easy on Ravelry, and that way I can just buy you stuff. And there's no shipping. You get it right as soon as I buy it, or as soon as I draw even. So it's awesome. I really like doing prizes that way because it's just so instantaneous. And I'm really bad if I get into the post office and I keep saying really loudly and I'm sorry. So I guess now we will move on to woes and woes. I have no blobbins this week, I know, and it's not good because I need to start doing stuff like that. I need to start spinning for my owl, and I didn't do it, so okay. So for my whoops, I only have one thing to show you this week. I have one boot cuff instead of two boot cuffs. I've been a super monogamous knitter, and I finished the project that I was working on, which I will show you in just a second. So I'm making a second one of these for my mom. I had made her a lot of boot cuffs, and she sent me a picture of a sweater she had bought and said, hey, I would like some boot cuffs to match the sweater, so that's what I'm working on now. And they're fun, and they're quick, and it's Valentine's Day coming up, so I think, that'll kind of be her Valentine's Day present for me. And now on to defeated foes. This one is I've got my iPad in my lap this week, so I keep looking down at it. I'm not moving my hands as much, so I'm trying to hold it down. So this is a mega huge monster of an FO. So I'm going to see if I can zoom out here a little bit. Oh, I'm not pretty zoomed out. I finished my drawing nigh. Yeah, the one I just started. I was obsessed with this. I could not put it down. I knit on it every single night until it was done. And because of the color changes, I was just like addicted to this thing. I couldn't stop knitting it. I don't have a total number on the yardage offhand because it is fingering weight held double. And so the way that works for the house cup and for the SSK knit along, which is why I started it in the first place, is since you're holding it double, you're only knitting, like, if you're holding 2 yards together, you're really only knitting 1 yard's worth because it's as if it was a worsted weight. And so if I finish, let's say, 1,000 yards, I'd only get to count 500 yards, which is okay because I totally agree with that idea. So here it is. It is awesome and it is huge. It is really stinking heavy for a shawl. I've usually knit lace weight shawls. I've never even knit a fingering weight shawl. So this is just crazy heavy. And I love the little ruffle at the bottom. I think the last two colors, it's a dark green and then like a really dark blue. I think I should have switched them because I was like, is the dark green darker or is the blue darker? And I think the green is actually darker, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So if in case you're wondering what yarns these are, they're all on my project page, but I have a pretty good idea of what they are. Okay, and the yarns I used were Knit Picks Imagination Hand Painted Sock in the Looking Glass colorway. This is something that Chain of Fools, who hosts the Fibertown podcast, had hand spun. This color here. And it was the yarn, the first prize I ever won from a podcast, and kind of the reason I started podcasting. This is some wool that I had dyed myself this summer, and it was massive, and I spun it. This sparkly stuff is Cascades Yarn Sunseeker in the Open Seas colorway. This blue that you're seeing here, oh, you can't really see what I'm doing. This blue that is here, I believe that is the Marine Heather colorway. This dark green is some Wool of the Andes that I actually spun. It's the fiber. And then the very navy at the very bottom, it's really hard to see, is... Okay, no, that's the Marine Heather, and I think this is Calypso Heather. I have a really hard time distinguishing Knit Pick palette colorways. But there you go. And those are all, like I said, in my project page. If you are just like, that's the most beautiful yarn ever, I have to own it. So yeah, super excited about this FO. And it smells good like wool wash. So that's my big FO for today. I'm gonna put it on because I want to wear it. Because it's huge. So, that's my one and only FO to show you this week. Now, I did get my tax return, and so I have quite a bit of a mustache to show you, and a little bit of back-end blather, and that means that it's blather that I really couldn't talk about until we got to the end of the show. So let me show you some government-funded stash after I show you a cool swap that I did. So, in the house cup, there's a common room where everyone just kind of hangs out. So like the Gryffindors have their common room, Slytherin have their common room, all that So in the common room, people just talk about whatever, you know, oh, look at this picture of ice cream. Isn't that sound good? Or that makes it sound really stupid. But, you know, if someone's having a bad day, you might post some cake and be like, here, I bought you some cake, you know, feel better. But anyway, so someone had posted about how they had just started using mini skeins for things, and they wish they could do a mini skein swap with someone. And so I was like, I would love to do a mini skein swap. And I just got my package a few days ago, so I will show you. This is Owl, like Owl Knit With You, Owl About yarn in the Thunderstorm colorway. And this is my favorite one because there are purples and teals and grays. And it sparkles. So I might have to go buy like a whole thing of this sometime. I got the Owl About You Fairy Dust colors. Very cute. This is a purple, mystery purple. This is Owl About You in the Red Currant. I think it's Red Currant. And it also sparkles. I love the sparkly ones. They just make me so excited. I got the Cortina sock. I don't know what else to tell you about that. It's very outdoorsy greens and stuff. And she's from the UK, so it took a little extra time to get over here. And so some of these yarns I've not heard of because they are UK yarns, I think. This is some more All About You. This is Passionate Pink. Apparently she had a lot of All About You to share, which I do not mind because these sparkles just make me happy. This is All About You in the Daffodils colorway. Very cute. This is a mystery ball, but it looks really, really fun. Look at all those colors just waiting to be... It looks like an oceany sunset color to me. You know, you got your blues, some pinks for the sunset. I thought one of them just fell on my couch, but it did not. This just says, from Super in Opal or Regia's sock yarn. And I don't know what that means, but it's got some darker rainbowy colors. They're very roly-poly. This is some Nina sock, and it's got a lot of barber pulling happening on there. So that's really fun. I think that's 10, unless one of them fell off. But those are my 10 from my mini skein swap, and it was tons of fun. And I'm really excited about that. So next I will show you a store that I should stop shopping at. It's called Eat Sleep Knit. I've talked on and about Eat Sleep Knit before, and yes, I did just show you quite a bit of lace weight yarn for a future shawl. But the reason I shop at Eat Sleep Knit so much is because, for one, they carry a lot of bigger indie dyers, and it's all in one spot, and I can buy them online instead of like making 100 purchases through Etsy, and I don't think some of these people even sell on Etsy. And for two, because they have the Yarnathon, which I will talk about more in just a bit. But if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen some of this yarn already, but I will show you what you haven't first. So I really like the feel of that silk packer for that purple shawl that I want to make. And I thought, well, it would be nice to have another shawl in mind just to start, you know, like, oh, look, I need 100 more yards to reach this goal. Let me just push this thing in there. It's not very expensive. And this is some more Malabrigo Baby Silk Paca Lace in the Azul Profundo colorway. So it is like a dark teal. And so this is going to be a future blue gradient shawl, and this is just one of them. But I also, the whole reason I was shopping there that day in the first place, what I wanted to get with my tax return money, was a sweater's worth of yarn. And so I went with the Lorna's Laces Shepherd's Worsted Superwash. Because I don't have any sweaters that are superwash. All of them are just like cheaper wools. So here are the colors that I picked. And this is going to be a Plum Rondo a la Turque, which you can see next to me. And the main color is going to be this teal, because this is my favorite color right now. Just period. And I watched the Mustache podcast, and Supa Steph knit a sweater that is all teal and then has rainbow colors on it as the Fair Isle part, like up by her neck. It is just gorgeous. Everything about that makes me want 10 of that color set of sweaters. So I thought I'd start off with a little bit something simpler, and just do this with these 3 colors as the Fair Isle bit. So I've got several, I can't even hold them all, several skeins of this teal, and they look pretty even, but I may alternate just in case because they are more hand-dyed-ish. So that's what we're starting off with there. Knit Picks was having a sale and let me know that through an email. And so I just checked to see what they have that I thought I might want. And every summer, my spinning group is going to be doing a dyeing session together because I don't really have room to dye in my apartment. And so I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll say something, you know, that's like natural white that I would want. Well, they had sock blanks, and excuse me, I've never gotten to dye a sock blank before. So if you don't know what they are, here, I'll get it out and show you. A sock blank is 2 threads of fingering weight, two bits of fingering weight knit together in a flat piece. So this is 2 strands of fingering weight knit together, usually machine knit together, just to be a really, really long piece of fabric. And then what you do is you go through and you dye it. Some people will do designs like flowers, or some people will just do stripes, which is kind of what I'm planning on doing. And then you take this end down here where you find the end and you unravel it. And this will unravel the whole thing. You can knit from it, but it is a little kinky, so it's usually better if you unravel it, skein it up, wash it, and then cake it, or however you like to do that kind of thing. That way you don't get weird bumps in your knitting. But, so I bought 2 of these to dye at will, and they were like $6 cheaper than normal, and Knit Picks is not expensive to begin with. So I'm excited to try sock blank dyeing, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I don't have a stripe pattern in mind, but can you imagine? I might think teal purple. That's kind of what I've been daydreaming about. I don't know if I'll dye that before, then I'll probably just wait till the summer, but if I get the itch, I do have 2 of them. So, you know, I could just do it now. So, after I'd ordered my sweater and after I'd ordered my Knit Picks, I realized that Knit Picks had never sent me a welcome packet to the marathon, and you're supposed to get one every year, and it has a couple little goodies in it, and it just gets you excited for spending too much money on yarn. And so, and with my sweater's quantity worth of yarn, I had hit the 5K mark, which meant that I got a $20 store credit. And so I was like, I emailed them and I was like, hey, am I only supposed to get this the first year? Because I did get one last year and it had like a tape measure and a notebook and a pen and a bunch of really exciting stuff in it. I was like, hey, is this just the first year thing or do you get one every year? And the person was very sweet and was like, no, that's so sad. You should have got one. We've got cool stuff in it this year. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, well, the next time you order something, which of course I'd already ordered my sweater's worth of yarn. She said, the next time you order something, just put in like the comment section that you're supposed to get this. And so I did, and I was like, hey, so-and-so said that I was supposed to get this. I'm just letting you know that I haven't gotten one yet. So then I had a $20 store credit, and I'm saving up yarn for this future blue teal shawl. So I bought 2 more silk packets, but I got them for free. I paid $4 for this whole order. That was just the shipping. This one is Tuareg, and this one is Bobby Blue. So, whoops, I'm thinking something like, these are so hard to hold up and show you guys. Something like this so far. And this could be a smaller shawl, it doesn't have to be massive. Or maybe even like a lacy tank. I don't know what it could be. It could be whatever it needs to be. But I did also get my welcome packet, which I was really excited about. I got this really, really cute Yarnathon sticker with this cat. Try to make it not. There we go. I got this really cute notepad. It's actually Post-its because it's like sticky. It only opens halfway. With the cowlet on it. I got a pin that just says Eat, Sleep, Knit. Last year it was pink. This year it is purple. And so last year they were like, you should knit things that are your team members, you know, mascot. And last year I was an Octo Pearl. I didn't really ever want to knit anything octopus, although since then I have found like 4 patterns that I'm like, must knit this octopus. One of them is a Hexie Puff, so hopefully I'll be doing that sometime soon. But anyway, so this year they sent this tiny Yarnathon mascot pattern set. And so you can, there's foxes, walruses, owls, and unicorns. And I, of course, am an owl, cowlet. So it's got all the instructions. I'm not going to show you all the instructions. It's got all the instructions to knit one of these little guys. And I'm really excited about it. It's really stinking cute. I'm not exactly sure who this is by, but it says Mochi Mochi Land, so maybe that's a pattern book. I'm not sure. In a Hervik. Mochi Mochi Land. MochiMochiLand.com, apparently. So I'm gonna hopefully knit a cute little owl. And the other thing is that's kind of one of the class prompts this month anyway for the house kept, so it all ties together perfectly. And then on top of that, you get this little card telling you what team you're on, the Cowlets, and kind of just giving you overall information about the Yarnathon, which I am stupidly addicted to. So as it stands, I have hit my 5K, I'm coming up on my 5 mile, but I have no need for any, my shawl is falling off my shoulders. I have no need for new yarns right now. I'm pretty set up for a while, and I've got a lot of cool, fun, fibery stuff coming up soon anyway. So this will probably be something that waits for quite a while, she says right now, but let's see if it sticks. So anyway, I do like their sock yarns a whole lot. I think I just knocked something down the couch. I'm making a mess. Okay, so like I said, there is some back-end blather. As if you can't tell, I have had sweaters on the brain. I absolutely love knitting shawls, but I do not enjoy wearing shawls near as much as you would think. The Follow Your Arrow shawl that I knit last year, I have worn probably twice out of my house, which is super sad. This is going to be more of a keep me cozy garment. I don't know if I'll wear it out as much, or maybe it'll be a cute over a dress summer thing. I'm not sure. But I do love sweaters. And I only have a few sweaters, and I only have about one knitted sweater that fits really well. So I thought I'd kind of show you my history of sweaters really briefly. I brought a couple of them with me out here. So back in 2010, I had just graduated college. And in college, I did a lot of scarf knitting for presents because, you know, you're a poor college kid and you want to, I don't know, find a cool hobby. And so I did that. And I had a bunch of the Stitch and B-word books, and I was learning about Knitty, and Ravelry was kind of a thing, but it wasn't really my thing yet. And I didn't really understand yarn weights, and I didn't really understand gauge and all of that. But in 2010, I had left college, and I had moved in with some of my friends, and I decided I really wanted to knit a sweater, and it was a sweater I found on Knitty, and I cannot for the life of me tell you what it was called. And so I printed out the pattern and took it to a yarn store nearby, and I said, I want to knit this. What yarn would you recommend? And I got this yarn. It is the itchiest yarn that ever existed. This is a pretty cute pattern, by the way, and I should totally attempt it again in a more reasonable yarn, but whatever this is, it is not soft. And this sweater has gone, ooh, I am blue. And this sweater has gone through the washing machine because I didn't know any better. And I didn't really have anyone to tell me otherwise. And so I could maybe squeeze into this now, but probably not. I messed up the sleeves a couple of times attaching them, but it's so felty you can't even tell. So yeah, this was one of my very first sweaters, and it's okay. It's really not so bad. And can you believe I was doing like this crazy lace stuff on my first sweater? Rebecca. But it doesn't look bad. And the sleeves were interesting. The sleeves actually fit me, which surprises me too. Crazier things have happened. So, a few years later, let's say it was probably 2011, 2012, like December, January. Is that right? I think that's right. I decided I wanted to knit another sweater, and Knit Picks had just come out with their Celtic pattern collection, and I really wanted this beautiful cable sweater. Ugh, it was just gorgeous. And had I never knit cables before? No. But that's just kind of how I do things. I just jump into the hard stuff blindly because there's no other way you're going to learn it by trying, and if you mess it up, you just rip it out and do it again. There's no project that I didn't There was no new technique that I didn't have to rip out 3 or 4 times before I got it right anyway, so why not do it on a large scale? Obviously that's the answer. This beautiful sleeve for the cabled sweater. This took me several months, and after that I put the sweater down. This is Vanna's Choice of like dusty green, I think is what it's called. And then a few months later, I moved into this very apartment and decided to start knitting the body. And I got about right to here, which is about, I don't know, 7 inches from my waist, or from my hips, and realized that it was twice the size that it needed to be. No idea how that happened. And so I started over, and I got about this far. And this is still pre me understanding yarn, really. I was just knitting in Vanna's Choice because I figured I could wash that. I hadn't really started watching podcasts. I didn't really understand the whole woolly world yet. But this... Where'd my sleeve go? This is not a bad start. And I like this pattern still, but I really want to do this sweater and not this color, because this color, not my favorite color to wear on me. It is way more gray in person and not near as pretty as spring green. And this is a really dense sweater. So I think this is going to get frogged and put back into the stash. Because I have the memories of it, and it's just, it's a really cool sweater design, but I don't think this is going to fit me anymore. And I would like to reclaim these needles and this cable, so that's got to go. And I have all the yarn for it, so that yarn might just be something else. I don't know what it's going to be. So that would have been in the summer, so July of 2013 is when I picked that back up. And in the fall of 2013, in November specifically, National Knit a Sweater Month was coming up. And I had gotten a sweater kit that my grandma had bought from Knit Picks forever ago. And it was a really nice pattern, but nothing that I wanted to knit. And so I decided to do the hero along that Fibertown was having, and I think that's actually how I won the yarn that was in my shawl earlier. And I also knit this sweater in a month for National Novel Writing Month, and also National Sweater Knitting Month, which I didn't do this past year because I just didn't have a sweater that I wanted to knit. Shocking, because now I have like 6. And so I knit this awesome hero sweater, and I had it done in time to wear to Thanksgiving. It is a fantastic sweater. And after the first wash, it grew like crazy, and I didn't know what to do, so I threw it in the dryer. Because that's what you do to shrink things. And I thought, I'll leave it in there for 5 minutes. I walked away, and I forgot my sweater was in there, and it felted. But it didn't felt entirely. The body still fits really, really well. The sleeve ends, this part right here, is just incredibly tight. And it was incredibly tight when I knit them. I just made it way too small. So I think what I'll do is, if I can find the stitches in here, I'm going to pick them back up, probably closer to here, and just re-knit the cuff. Because why not? It'd be sad to throw away an entire sweater. But it still fits, and it's still cute. And it is extremely warm, because it's very dense. It's a very dense sweater. I think this color was in my shawl. Huh. There's just all sorts of shawl colors in here. And this is a great sweater. It really is. So, if nothing else, it'll become something else really cool. Because it's a pretty awesome sweater. I should knit another hero and make it better. Because it also calls for worsted weight, and I was doing fingering held double, which makes this warmer than a coat. I could just like cut it. I should steek it up the front and then do like a cropped sleeve thing, or just crop the sleeves as they are and just wear it as like a t-shirt. Because maybe then I wouldn't overheat. Because half my problem right now is that when I wear it, I can't push the sleeves up when I'm too warm, which I do a lot. So maybe that'll be a good solution. I don't know. This sweater's in does not come yet. And then I have the sweater that I'm wearing now. Oh, my nose is itchy. Are you guys thinking about me? Probably because you're watching the podcast. The sweater that I'm wearing now is the 3-in-1 sweater. It looks like you're wearing 3 sweaters, but you're just wearing 1. It's pretty awesome. It fits me great. I love it. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It is made out of Blue Mountain Farms sport weight. And it is, I think, just merino wool? I don't know. But it's very cozy and it's pretty perfect for a sweater. I have hair on my tongue. My sleeves are a little bit long, so I have to fold them over. It's kind of a lame thing to do, but that is too long for me. It's like completely over my thumb sometimes. So I just fold them over. And the green that is in this part of the sleeve that you can't really see bled all over the gray that was in that part of the sleeve, so it's a little bit yellow. So yeah, sorry. So this is my 3-in-1 sweater. It's great. There's a little bit of bleeding, like I said. But other than that, it's pretty fantastic. I did the Amy Herzog Fit to Flatter Craftsy class before I knit this one, and I did a lot of resizing, which I think really helped because I'm a weirdly shaped girl, I discovered. And I've already done that for the pixelated pullover and the plum rondo a la Turk, which are my next 2 sweaters for sure. So I think the plan is to get 50% on my tropical planned pulling stole, which is the gray red lace thing I've been working on that's not very long. I need to work on that really bad because I have to have it 50% before the end of February. And then I think I'll start my sweater because I don't have a reason not to, and I really want to do it. I want to do it so bad. So I will knit the pixelated pullover, and then when I'm done with that one, if it's gonna work in, I will knit my plum rondo a la Turk. And I'm not gonna do short sleeves because that would drive me crazy because sometimes your arms are cold. And if you're wearing a sweater, you don't want to put a jacket on at work. That is ridiculous. So I will hopefully be doing this. Oh, and if you want to know what these colorways are, because I totally didn't tell you, this is Island Blue. This is Poppy. It's a really corally color, and I like it. This is Violet, very purpley. And this is Firefly. Not a firefly color to me. I think it would need to be more green, but I still like it a whole lot. So, I'm excited about both sweaters. And so yeah, sweater stuffs. So that's the back end blather. I think I'm gonna stop doing the what makes me happy or the 5 things that make me happy segment because I tell you all of them in the blather section. I never have anything new, I feel like, in the 5 things that make me happy section. I'm a very happy person anyway, so I don't need to tell you why I'm happy because I've already talked about why I'm happy. It's knitting and it's yarn. Hint, hint. As for house cup stuff, I haven't gotten any of my classes in yet because I've been working on that crazy huge shawl. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have an awesome time, and remember, whether you're procrastinating or knitting on what you need to be knitting on, I'll knit with you. Bye guys.